right, Evan Ginzburg back with another edition of Evan Ginzburg's Legends TV. And we have a very special edition today, a tribute to our late dear friend Scott Epstein with Ash Mills Epstein. She'll be with us in just a bit. Also with us in just a bit, Charlie Scott, a great young rapper, and the greatest band in all the land, Edwin Vasquez Musica, returning. Our semi-house band, we love these guys. And we also love Steve Ludwig from Classic Pop Culture Radio. How are you, Steve?
Fine. I love you too, Evan.
Thank you. This is like a love fest.
This is a love fest?
Yeah.
It's the summer of love, baby.
That's right, the summer of love. The summer of love. And tell us about the summer of Classic Pop Culture Radio.
Well, thank you. Every Tuesday at 6 p.m. at planetludwig.com.
And who are some of the jabronis you have on? You have million-selling artists regularly.
Million-selling artists. It's Steve Ludwig's Classic Pop Culture. So I like to get kind of people that aren't always interviewed, some that are. But for instance, this coming Tuesday, if you know the movie Willy Wonka, the original movie with Gene Wilder, well, Mike TV, the little cowboy, the kid that played the cowboy.
I have no idea, but okay.
It was one of probably the best part of the five kids. He's going to be on the show. He's 55 years old now.
All right. So he grew up.
He grew up. Paris Stemmen is going to be on the show. Yep. But you know, I've had last week I had Vince Martell from Vanilla Fudge on, and Dennis Stefano from the Buckinghams. It's just a lot of fun. It's on planetludwig.com. First shows are always at 6 p.m. on Tuesday, but then they're archived immediately afterwards, so people can listen anytime at all. And I know you're on Wednesday nights. That's
right, Legends Radio, and we'll see the little promo later, I believe. Yep. And what else has been happening? How are you enjoying retirement?
Retirement's great. I taught for 38 years, and I think I'm 8 days into my retirement right now. And I said in September at 9 a.m. when I'm still in my pajamas, that's when I'll really feel like I'm retired from teaching, when I'm still in bed and it's 9 a.m.
That's right.
But I got some great gifts. In the coming shows, I'd like to bring one on every once in a while. Some really cool things that people gave me that I can show off to the audience.
Awesome, awesome. Yeah. And speaking of awesome, we're going to see a video right now from rapper Charlie Scott, who will be joining us in just a bit. Check it out, folks.
I said I'd never stop smiling, sorry's too foreign, never sincere, I hear sorry's too often, and I'm not apologizing. Go ahead and use caution, go and pop your little molly, you'll be dying soon, probably guzzle all that alcohol, and don't get alcohol poison. You're breaking every promise, got my optics all distorted, say a prayer to the Lord and forgive them for what they don't know. And you can find me where they don't go far. You know I'm gonna go far. I wanna get real chubby and go smoke a cigar. I got a couple people always keep them close to my heart. I lay my life down for you and that's only a start. I got a real thick past, left me loaded with scars. Each one tells a story about as long as my block. 718's dyslexic, 187's I'm getting used to the heat. I doubt I'm going to heaven, so I say feet. Don't you feel me now when I say God? I know you hear me now. I walk a minefield blindfolded. Trust my path and I could take you there with me if you hold my hand. So I say feed. Don't you feel me now? And I say God. I know you hear me now. I walk a minefield blindfolded. Trust my path and I can take you there with me if you hold my hand. I said I'd never stop smiling. I look at all my problems, look at all that I've accomplished, and it's looking quite awesome. Justice, full circle, circumference, I love this. My wallet sits obtuse, no acute, get your money, mad talk. Know the truth and it's ugly, it's a sad song. Jealousy grows rapid, I don't know how to react. I'm just sitting here rapping and I always give back. I leave my problems up to God, I figure this ought to pass. And then it passes, went from debt to stuffing money in the mattress. I got the master plan, I'm on fire, baby, I could melt an avalanche. I keep it moving and I'm never looking back again. I'm right where I'm supposed to be. I'm bipolar, but I love you with both of me. 718's dyslexics, 187's I'm getting used to the heat. I doubt I'm going to heaven, so I say feet. Don't you fail me now, and I say God, I know you hear me now. I walk a minefield blindfolded, trust my path, then I can take you there with me if you hold my hand. I say feed, don't you fail me now, and I say God, I know you hear me now. I walk a minefield blindfolded, trust my path, then I can take you there with me if you hold my hand. And I say feed, and I say feed, God, walk a minefield blindfolded, trust my path, then I can take you there with me if you hold my hand. And I say feed, and I say
My name is Dr. Robert Brevard. I'm here for Multi-Medicine in Westbury, New York. We're located at 1065 Old Country Road, Suite 214. Been here for about 15 years. The practice has medical doctors, physical therapists, chiropractors, acupuncturists. We also do pain management, and we have orthopedists on staff. Here at Advanced Multi-Medicine Rehabilitation, we've got physical therapists on staff who treat an array of conditions, from neck pain to back pain, shoulder pain. We treat carpal tunnel. We treat a lot of car accident patients, slip and falls. We treat patients with knee injuries, with ankle injuries. We have state-of-the-art equipment. We've been here for over 15 years. Vast array of diagnostic testing, from x-rays to EMGs. What is an EMG? It's a diagnostic test that allows a doctor to determine where the pinched nerve is. Cora is a physical therapist at Advanced Multi-Medicine and Rehabilitation. She's working on Stephanie, who was involved recently in an automobile accident. Stephanie has tight thoracic and cervical musculature, and Cora is doing some myofascial release work and some therapeutic stretching, doing it to help her with her pain. Vicky is also a patient here at Advanced Multi-Medicine and Rehabilitation. Vicky is now working her leg muscles, specifically her quadricep muscles, trying to strengthen them after an injury she sustained. If you find yourself in need of any type of physical therapy, please don't hesitate to call Advanced Multi-Medicine and Rehabilitation, located in Westbury, New York, in Suite 214. Phone number is 516-334-7000, or find us on our website at advancedmultimedicine.com.
For nearly a decade, Evan Ginzburgs' Legends Radio has featured interviews with the greatest names in the arts and sports. Heard worldwide at legendsradio.net, the program has featured these great musical legends: Ray Manzarek of The Doors, Billy Corgan of Smashing Pumpkins, Judy Collins, Roberta Flack, and many more. Stars from movies, TV, and comedy have included Jenny McCarthy, Wayne Brady, 30 Rock's Judah Friedlander, Shelley Berman, Jackie the Joke Man Martling, David Allen Greer, and Paul Mooney. Stars of pro wrestling and MMA include Bruno Sammartino, Rowdy Roddy Piper, Superstar Billy Graham, and Frank Shamrock. Co-hosted by renowned journalist Dr. Mike Lano, Legends Radio is heard Wednesdays 7 p.m. to 9:20 p.m. Eastern Standard. We are archived 24/7 with hundreds of hours of classic interviews. Legends Radio also features the best in indie music, showcasing talent deserving wider exposure.
Brooklyn, baby, don't forget the gravy. We are soldiers.
You missed the birth of your mother and father. Don't you dare miss Evan Ginzburgs' Legends Radio.
We're back with Charlie Scott, rapper Charlie Scott. Charlie, congratulations on that video. You really seem to bare your soul on that.
Thank you.
Is that autobiographical?
Somewhat. Actually, it's more about me against myself, but being in the position that I am in and trying to work with what I have, I had to utilize another person.
Sure.
It was actually my girlfriend. I didn't want to go with the grain on everything and have some other girl in my music video. That would probably upset my girlfriend very much.
Smart move, Charlie.
Yeah.
Smart rapper, Charlie Scott.
Happy girlfriend, happy life.
Exactly.
Decided to play it safe.
You have, I know you have one CD out, but you're working on a new album. Why don't you tell us about that?
New album is titled Hip Hop Sinatra, and there are...
I like the title.
Thank you. There are 2 songs from this album that I'll be performing, and one is from my old album, Lyrical Therapy 2. Now, Hip Hop Sinatra because I don't exactly dress like a hip hop artist. When I get on stage, it's not jumping, screaming, and waving your hands. It's more, you could hear a pin drop until the end of the performance, and then there's an applause, and then I introduce the next song. And not that I ever planned for anything to be that way, but people actually pay attention to the lyrical content, and I greatly appreciate it, and it just kind of started flowing that way.
I can't wait to see the performance. First of all, before I turn the stage over to you, where can people get the new album when it's ready?
The new album, as well as my old album, Lyrical Therapy 2, you can find it on charliescotthip-hop.com, and that'll link you to any way you'd like to connect with me, as well as purchase an album.
Excellent. Can't wait to hear your stuff, Charlie. So why don't I get off the stage and leave it to the master rapper, Mr. Charlie Scott.
Thank
you. When you come home, I'll stop this. When you come home, I'll hide it good. I'll never cry again. When you come home
To my soldier overseas, when you're coming home to me, they say you fight to keep the freedom. Tell me why I don't feel free. Empty room up in a home, it's always broken when you leave. It's scary knowing you're alone, and I hope you're making meals. Give me an M16 and a one-way ticket. I'll hold you down, cause for you, brother, I know no limits. I'll squeeze triggers and diminish everything in my vision. We're family, and I got some issues dealing with distance. All I have is this penance, so I write life sentences. I have no choice but to vent, and it's killing me. And if you gotta kill them, then kill one for me to make it back in one piece. Cause we still love and need you. I see all the leaders don't think of the people. I'll tell Uncle Sam you're not seeing the sequel. Took the needle out my arm and let it spin on a record. In case you didn't know, I've been getting bigger than ever, so come home.
When you come home, I'll stop this.
Come home.
When you come home, I'll hide it good. I'll never cry again. When you come home
Still hold your seat at the dinner table, it belongs to you. Could barely eat knowing you're in danger, swear to God it's true. Pray is deep, pray for an angel to keep watching you. And if it's hard for us, gotta be hard for you. I'm uncomfortable. Soldier, keep your head steady, keep your chin up high. Soldier, keep your gun ready, lace your boots up tight. You better come home whole, I'm telling you one time. We're now grown folks, but I still see that kid in your smile. I hope that innocence never dies, and always keep that calm spirit, that's our family crest. I wrote your letters, tell me why you haven't answered me yet I'm flipping out, and I'm a few cards shy of a deck. A little crazy, I'm not the sharpest tool in the shed, and I pretend it doesn't faze me. Bulletproof like your vest. I see the stuff up in the news, I think of you and I'm stressed. Just come home.
When you come home, I'll stop this.
Come home.
When you come home, I'll hide it good. I'll never cry again. When you come home to
Cross another day off of the calendar. I hate talking about it, resenting the country you're protecting, yet I'm proud of you, so powerful. Hope I'm jerking them tears up out of you. I spilled them too, I'm about the truth. Another Thanksgiving, Christmas, birthday, you ain't around, it's cool. Remember back in 2002, sports in the living room, and now it's all pitiful. I'm seeing you in intervals. Remember back before you left the Cadillac with the leather, you took me out for Italian. I'll remember that forever. I know not to speak indefinites, negligence to my intellect. Sometimes it happens when I'm expressing this. Forgive my French. Hats off to all the soldiers, salute to all of the veterans. Make sure their medicals are covered, and that one is for the president, and this one is for America and everyone who's been through this. Stripes and stars are feared. Thank you. Know the respect is thick, heroes, but what y'all go through, we all go through. That's why your song for us is also a song for you. We love you.
when you come home, I'll stop this. When you come home, I'll hide it good. I'll never cry again. When you come home to me.
This song is titled Thank You. From my mother's perspective, followed by my father's, followed by myself. It's fairly self-explanatory. It's a true story. My son keeps lifting 20s out my purse. To make it worse, I know it's drug money. I love him and so it hurts. I once held him in my tummy, fed him when he was hungry, gave him love since birth. I know now that he's just a junkie. Bones I'm feeling when he hugs me. So skinny he's getting ugly. My brothers and my mother could tell that he's up to something, but really, he don't do nothing. He just sits in his room, high, and he's always cussing. He said, Ma, I'll work it out one day. That day does not come. I look him dead in the eyes, and that is not my son. I told my husband he always hides. I see him peeking through blinds. I think our family's in danger. I'm fearing for all our lives, and we fight. We always fight. I just wish he would too. Now I guess there's only one thing left we could do, and it sucks. But you're out of the house, boy. We gotta cut you off. I pray you figure it out. They want my head on a stake, and I'll be dead within days. I promise you I'll change. Don't feed me to the wolves. I grew in this house, my room's in this house, and you're kicking me out. Don't feed me to the wolves. Here I go, I'm good all alone. Last chance to say no. Don't feed me to the wolves. Don't feed me to the wolves. My son keeps lifting cash about my wallet. He's got a problem, he's my son and it's my wallet. So I guess we got a problem. These narcotics, we tried to box him, but it's like nothing can solve the problem. I'm giving up and I don't want it, but when he wants it, nothing can stop him. It hurts cause he's my blood. I can still see the man he was. Somewhere real deep inside him, I can still see a man I love. Maybe it's my fault that he just isn't man enough. Why can't he just say no? I tried to talk to him, but we just ain't close. Without the old him, this just ain't home. He keeps telling me he'll fix it one day though, but that day isn't near. And I see him living in fear, and every time we go in public, why is he acting so weird? And suddenly I see he's scared to leave the house. I get it now, the debt is piled. I got a wife and a daughter, I'm out of choices, and I'll be kicking them out. They want my head on a stake, and I'll be dead within days. I promise you I'll change. Don't feed me to the wolves. I grew in this house, my room's in this house, and you're kicking me out. Don't feed me to the wolves. Here I go, I'm good all alone. Last chance to say no. Don't feed me to the wolves. Don't feed me to the wolves. Dear
mom and dad, I'll be coming home soon. I'm sorry for all the pain that I put you both through. Sorry for the jewelry pawns and the credit cards maxed and all the times that we fought. Can we forget about that? I'm a new man now, you should see how I look. I gained 35 pounds, you should see how I look. I've been living on my own, I even learned how to cook. I began a new chapter, just keep reading the book. You kicked me out, I swear I've never been so lost in my life. I went to treatment, got clean, I spoke to God every night. I'm on the right track now, I'm making up for lost time. I know I stole a lot of dough, I'll pay you back every dime. And this life took a real hard turn on me, weighed me down like I had the whole earth on me. Who would've thought something that I thought I'd try just once would end up being something I could not put down? But really, I love you both and send the family kisses. It's time for me to go, I gotta finish the dishes. But before I go, I wanna thank you. Thank God you're my angels. If I wasn't raised the way you raised me, then I wouldn't have made it. You're both so amazing and I'm grateful tonight. And know I'll stay clean one day at a time. You're amazing and I'm grateful tonight. Thanks, guys. Next track is off of my new album titled Hip Hop Sinatra. Thank you. And this is called Rhymes and Roses. Speaking about three loves. Whenever you're ready. Verse 1 for New York. I love you, don't make me say it again. I say it 80 different ways cause I'm insane with the pen. They say we learn from our mistakes, well I'm mistaken again. And if we go our separate ways, hope I could stay as a friend. Ironic, cause I'm clean, look how I'm making a mess. I only feel like a king when you lay on my chest. I kill beats, I never pay him respects. And yeah, I understand your pain, I dedicate this attention to the three loves of my life that's hurt you in music. And I think the beat's leaving cause I'm too abusive. I think that she's leaving, I'm still laying in bed. So I'll call you on my phone so I can thank you again. For the best years of my life, there ain't a thing I regret. I'm socially awkward, you're emotionally exhausted, so I proceed with caution. Don't make me say it again, I'll say it 80 different ways cause I'm insane with the pen. I love you, to the point I can't focus, till I'm tossed black roses. Be it wealth or broke as hell, you'll always know me better than I know myself. I love you, to the point I can't focus, till I'm tossed black roses. Be it wealth or broke as hell, you'll always know me better than I know myself. This reminds me of a simple time. I'd flip my fine trees, you would sip your wine. You would kiss my right cheek, I would grip your thigh. Every sentence I speak, I begin to cry. Cause like the pen, I bleed to death inside. Cause if you hurt my queen, I'd end your life. And I did it to her first, I've been living with a curse. Every other word's a curse, every time I go berserk. Whether I'm at work or church, all I think about is her. Cause the woman that I love is the woman that I hurt. Look at what I've done, what have I become? Every time I spit, I'm a shifty little punk. And I turn you up, I could hear you in the trunk. Hear you everywhere I go, and I never left you once. Had some suicide attempts, you helped me handle the stress. Took the noose off my neck, talked me off of the ledge. Put a price on all my pain, now I expect to get paid. Though I ain't one for expectations, this exception is made. I know I ain't thank you enough when you took the blow dry away from the tub. Interviews are like romantic dates, and songs are like sex, man, I can't explain. Took the needle out my arm and let it spin on the record. You and I are intertwined, hip-hop, I love you. To the point I can't focus, till I'm tossed black roses. Be it wealth or broke as hell, you'll always know me better than I know myself. I love you. To the point I can't focus, till I'm tossed black roses. Be it wealth or broke as hell, you'll always know me better than I know myself. They get jealous and such, you help me realize I really never felt this stuff once. Support me everything I do, you never stand in my way. And you never bite your tongue when you think someone's a snake. I love you, I'll say it again. You're humble, amazing, and you make me forget about the days where I was shaking and I'd wake up in sweats. Dubs went to the face, bottles straight to the head. But you take me higher and you make me flyer. When I was getting cold, baby, you fueled the fire. I ain't superficial, but she's fine as hell. Clap along if you're happy, cause she's mine for real. Smile is beautiful and her mind is ill. She inspires half the rhymes I design and kill. Everywhere I go, you make me feel at home. So, go on, baby, have a seat at the throne. I love you to the point I can't focus, till I'm tossed black roses. Be it wealth or broke as hell, you'll always know me better than I know myself. I love you to the point I can't focus, till I'm tossed black roses. Be it wealth or broke as hell, you'll always know me better than I know myself. I love you. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Dr. Tom Dow. We have a multidiscipline practice in Melville and Ronkonkoma, New York, and we treat patients with many, many different conditions, from newborns through geriatric patients with numerous different techniques. There's a technique and a type of treatment for every class of patient. We have them all here. Here's my son Thomas, also a doctor of chiropractic, working on one of our patients' cervical spine. This patient has had chronic neck pain for many, many, many years, has been to a multitude of different practitioners with little or no response. And with our specialized techniques, she has improved tremendously and continues to improve on a daily basis. We have two practices, one in Melville and one in Ronkonkoma, New York. We are a multidiscipline chiropractic office. What that means is we have chiropractors, massage therapists, acupuncturists, psychologists, all working as a team and a network of outside professionals such as orthopedists and neurologists that we work hand in hand with to help determine what your injuries are and the best way to treat your injuries. I have the great pleasure of having my son in practice with me. We work hand in hand, father and son, to give our patients the best care possible, and a staff which is loving, caring, and you'll never have to wait at all in our office for service. Many times patients come into our office and they have what's called a soft tissue injury. Soft tissue injuries are like scars inside your body. If you've ever been cut on the outside of your body, you get a scar. The same thing happens inside of your body to your muscles and ligaments. So our job is to determine where those are, stretch the muscles, adjust the vertebra back into their correct position, and then refortify the normal structure with exercise. That's what we do best, and I hope someday you'll come see us at one of our two offices. Thank you.
Are you planning an event and want to include entertainment, but you're not sure where to turn? Act1Entertainment.net has provided over 1,500 events with quality, affordable live entertainment at private parties, corporate affairs, festivals, bike rallies, and more. Act 1 will fit into your budget. They're friendly, reliable, and do all the legwork for you. They take all major credit cards. Log on to Act1Entertainment.net for a free, no-obligation price quote, or call 631-758-3505 for a brochure. You'll be happy you did.
Technical Worldwide Tattoo Supply is one of the largest suppliers in the world and your #1 resource for top quality, affordable tattoo and piercing supplies. Technical Worldwide Tattoo Supply is the #1 supplier of tattoo inks in the world with more than 200 products including Mom's Ink, Philadelphia Eddie's Traditional Inks, Paolini Sacred Color Inks, and more. Technical Worldwide Tattoo Supply, your one-stop shopping destination for great service, best prices, and top quality supplies. Coney Island Carlos vintage wines and premium spirits are undeniably distinctive, selected for their unique, memorable flavor. Coney Island Carlos vintage wines and premium spirits are delivered to you in beautifully designed bottles featuring limited edition artwork. Coney Island Carlos vintage wines and premium spirits are available at affordable prices in fine restaurants, bars, and liquor stores. Or check www.coneyislandcarlo.com for availability.
Hola, hola, ¿cómo estás? Oh, English program, sorry about that. Thank you so much for having us. My name is Evan Vasquez. Evan Ginzburgs, thank you so much for having us once again on your incredible show. The Show of Legends with Steve Ludwig, Tom Ely, Tom Marr, and today, Charlie Scott, who did an incredible job. Woo, baby, yeah. And I'm not going to use my MC voice, Evan, don't worry. I know he was very concerned. Can I show it to them, though, briefly? Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're on Legends TV here. Evan Ginzburgs, Legends TV with Steve Ludwig and Tom Marr. And here on the right, we have Alpha Harbison on lead guitar. To my left, we have James Grover. And my name is Evan Vasquez. We're very happy to be here with you, and we hope you enjoy. Not bad, right? All right. This is, we just put this together. You know this one. What do I do about your smart mouth? Draw me in and kicking me out. Got my head spinning, no kidding. I can't pin you down. What's going on in that beautiful mind? I'm on your magical mystery ride, and I'm so don't know what hit me, but I'll be alright. Head's on the water, and I'm breathing fine. You're crazy and I'm out of my mind. 'Cause all of me loves all of you. Love your curves and all your edges, all your give your all to me, give my all to you. You're my end and my beginning, 'cause even when I lose, I'm winning. Now give you all of me. You give me all curves and all your edges, all your perfect imperfections. Give your all to me, give my all to you. You're my end and my beginning, 'cause even when I lose, I'm winning. And I give you all of me. You give me all of you, and I give you all of me. You give me all of you. Oh, that's all I want, all of you, okay? Nothing less. But this is what happened for those who understand Spanish. Un poquito. All right. That sounded pretty good. This is an original tune called Se Fue. Se fue, llevándose con ella mi alegría. Se fue, abriéndome de nuevo las heridas. Se marchó. No es que yo quiera tener la razón, no es que yo vea otra solución, pero nada de bien me hace. Se fue. Thank you. That was devastating. But I got through it, thank God. Singers, you know, we write songs and from a personal place. What are you talking fresh to me? What's going on over here? What'd you say? Plugged in?
Plugged in.
Oh, hey, watch your mouth. Whoa. Right? What national TV here? Come on, man. Drinks out for kids. All right, anyway, I'm going to sing you today. Oh, yeah. I like the acoustic guitar. It sounds like it has that sort of rock thing on it. La mamá rosa, hoy haciendo historia con una olla de amor criolla. La mamá rosa, oye qué cosa, empezó con la acabó famosa. Todos conocen la vecina, esa famosa charlaquina, con una sopa de gallina y una sal de maravilla, dejando su sazón por la avenida, melando con sabor en cada esquina. La mamá rosa haciendo historia con una olla de amor criolla. La mamá rosa, oye qué cosa, empezó con una y acabó famosa. La mamá rosa, la mamá rosa, la mamá rosa, mamá rosa, mamá rosa. Thank you. That was a nice slow groove for Charlie there. Yeah, I know Charlie likes the slow grooves, right? The sweet grooves, the jazzy grooves. So let's call Charlie up for this one. We're gonna do this all. This is all live, people. This is all live on the spot stuff.
We didn't rehearse this at all.
You know, and that's the way we do it. You know, we don't announce that enough here.
Yeah, yeah.
That
Do I
basically
say it
everything
again?
you hear week after week is live. You know, it's on the spot, and we're pretty much improvising when we do our stuff.
To the top, and they say I'll never see it. I know they say a lot, and I know they don't ever mean it. Every day I pray to God, and I get lonely on the weekends, and they know I'm patriotic, so they better pledge allegiance. Keep on telling me I'll make it. I'm trying to stay courageous, don't want no one saying I owe 'em, so don't do me any favors like I'm bench pressing the game. The bar I'm always raising, give me 10 seconds of fame. I'll blow up in all your faces, y'all got 10 seconds. Grenade pitbull, come get seconds. I'm flavorful, I wet dresses and test ledges. I get better, just wait until my next 7. My endeavors are just reckless, the pain is full. The best ever debatable, blessed heaven is waiting. Sure the good die young, but I ain't trying to see it with the good I've done. It ain't long before I'm leaving, stand for all that I believe in. Call it how I see it, know that y'all competing with another young and genius trying to be a millionaire. But I don't rock with Reed, just trying to my heart is always bleeding when they say I alright. Keep it going. Thinking alone, shouldn't be alone when I think. Dreaming of going on a flight to Rome and then Greece. I reach for my phone, I hope they notice it's a phone. When I reach in a cage, I'll be thrown if they can see all of the things I don't speak. My mind is always racing, time is always changing. I am always aiming at the height of Himalayas. I am so inspired, yet I am inspiration. Y'all are all invited, I ain't writing invitations. Trying to take it to the top just to see what it's like. And I ain't sure it's what I want, but I'll know when I arrive. I just know that when I'm rocking, I just feel so alive. And I can see your heads bopping, I ain't surprised, to be the best. It's like you're always down in blue, and so I try to ease the stress. When I saw him taking shots, I always tried to be a vest, but that don't work. I'm just a man, I sorta kinda bleed to death. It's tears of joy, I cry, look toward the sky, I'm feeling blessed. And I guess you ought to smile when it's your time to meet the dead, cause I'll be breathing for a while. Your daughter's fine, I breathe success, enjoying life, she's out of mind, just needs time to redirect. I ain't the type of teacher's pets, I'm doing fine, my sneakers fresh, and I don't really need a Benz, but have you seen the CLS? So I'm speeding, it's illegal how I'm weaving through you people, sorta kinda thinking sex. I'm just a guy, I'm bleeding red. There's always times when we regret, then you're reminding me again that it's my time, and so I'm trying. I don't cry, I think depressed, and I'm the type to think in death. I ain't dreams in weeks, I guess, cause to have dreamed would mean I slept and I don't sleep, so I pretend it's just depending on the week. So I always think of them, in my mind, out my mind. Which one leads to the arrest? And I'm so wild, I need a vet. You're so fine, you need the best. I'm so flying, needing jets and sit inside an eagle's nest. beautiful queen. If I was rich, girl, I'd buy you all these beautiful things. Look in her eyes for 7 days and it makes you feel weak. Round brown ring that sort of makes a pupil a green, and it complements the face and makes a cuticle sing. What a beautiful thing, life's a beautiful thing, as it should be, and life sucks usually, but a perfect complexion leaves me numb with suggestions, keeps me up with erections, makes me wonder and guess. She always deals with stuff, I mean it's sick and depressing. Her parents get split, her sister's in Texas, her brother's tough death and a scam on investments. It's really impressive, to me she's a blessing. Full attention, I'm giving the best I can, tears collecting down her cheek like can I land? As I caress her, she just grabbed my hand.
Oh, she's a blessing.
Back on my life at all the things I tried, and I can understand, but all I think is violence. You're flyer than a pilot, and I treat you like your highness. I'm just undecided. One day I'm a nice man, holding doors politely. No one cares like I can, talking to these old folks like I'ma be the future. Right after I go smoke, like someone ought to shoot you. I'm just undecided. One day I'm a sick man, one day I fit right in, one day I feel distant. Life across my wrist and pistol cocked in this hand, about to end existence. Someone better listen, I don't need attention, I hate the suspension. Baby thinks she's pregnant and I don't have a pension. Stressful tension till I learn this special lesson. Eddie Vasquez, get him.
Charlie Scott.
Technical Worldwide Tattoo Supply is one of the largest suppliers in the world and your #1 resource for top quality, affordable tattoo and piercing supplies. Technical Worldwide Tattoo Supply is the #1 supplier of tattoo inks in the world, with more than 200 products including Mom's Ink, Philadelphia Eddie's Traditional Inks, Paolini Sacred Color Inks, and more. Technical Worldwide Tattoo Supply, your one-stop shopping destination for great service, best prices, and top quality supplies. Coney Island Carlos vintage wines and premium spirits are undeniably distinctive. Selected for their unique, memorable flavor, Coney Island Carlos vintage wines and premium spirits are delivered to you in beautifully designed bottles featuring limited edition artwork. Coney Island Carlos vintage wines and premium spirits are available at affordable prices in fine restaurants, bars, and liquor stores. Or check www.coneyislandcarlo.com for availability.
I am Tom Mealy for the Harrison Law Group, and I have been telling you for years that getting involved in an automobile accident is no joke. This is what we do. We're not new at this game. If you've been involved in an accident of any kind and you go to a law firm that says you have no case, it's simple. It's because they can't do it and they don't get it. You need to call us directly at 1-800-INJURY-LAW.
For professional motorcycle transport and towing, think Kickstart Fabrications Motorcycle Towing. Proudly serving all of Long Island, we feature expert handling and 24/7 service. So send a limo for your toy with Kickstart Fabrications Motorcycle Towing.
Hi, I'm honored to be here with the great Edwin Vasquez Musica, Alpha Halverson, James Grover, and this is a piece I wrote about my late friend Scott Epstein called simply enough, Rest in Peace, Scott Epstein. When wrestling agent, indie manager, and pastor Bobby Rydell instant messaged me, "Did you hear the news?" I braced myself. For anyone involved as long and heavily as myself in the often grim world of pro wrestling knew exactly what was coming next. Picking up the phone, I guessed at which one of our heroes had left us too soon. For weren't there 200 or so wrestlers who had died before the age of 50 from the sex, drugs, and rock and roll wrestling lifestyle? Clutching the phone, I immediately said, "Who died?" without even bothering with the obligatory hello. "Scott Epstein," he said. "No!" I shrieked, leaning against the living room wall as my wife looked on in concern. "Is it an internet rumor?" I hoped against hope. "Confirmed," Bobby said with the finality I dreaded. "He just called me the other week," I responded robotically. "He wanted to catch up and grab some dinner one night." I felt an odd sense of guilt, almost like I was in confession with the wrestling pastor. Sadly, we never did have that final meal together, as my elderly mom had been in and out of the hospital. Scott Epstein, former teacher and assistant principal, publicist, promoter, writer, publisher, photographer, camp counselor, vendor, agent, occasional indie wrestling manager, and whatever other gigs this ever-hustling, oh-so-colorful character could squeeze in. And like the wrestlers themselves, he was larger than life, with that shaved head, huge mustache, and energy that kids half his age couldn't touch. I try to wrap my head around the news. He'd survived heart surgery and Superstorm Sandy, and somehow a late-night ride did this? The vehicle with the Macho Man plates? It had been an accident. His car hit a tree, just like that. How many conventions and wrestling functions had I been in that same vehicle, traveling down those very same roads with him? How many diners and roadside dumps had we eaten in on the way home from generally meaningless indie cards we loved to be around? We drive up and down those highways, talking all the way, reliving both the magic and absurdity of whatever we just experienced in this often surreal world of pro wrestling. And whether we made a few bucks or lost a few, he was already on to the next adventure. "I'm booked next weekend," he'd say, like a kid in a candy store. On some of the gigs, we'd share a room, and I'd wake from a deep sleep, and Scott would be frantically typing on his laptop. Hey, he had something to promote, to plug, emails to answer, bookings to lock in. The man was tireless. He was an older guy in a young man's game, and few could touch him, running to cards around the country, booking his beloved talent, and never losing enthusiasm for his end of the business. And how many legends and industry giants had I met through him over the years? How many times did I get butterflies in my stomach finally meeting a childhood hero like his close friend superstar Billy Graham? Then there was Tony Atlas, Putski, Jay Lethal, who he had a special connection with, various divas, and a good chunk of the TNA roster. And they all had a deep love and respect for that seemingly rarest of creatures, the honest wrestling agent. Scott Epstein, dead, horribly, suddenly, unbelievably dead. You know, in the agent business, you get used to bounce checks, last-minute cancellations, and standing your ground to get your talent paid. Hey, the promoter had a slow night. But Scott Epstein, I can proudly say, is the only man I ever gave a bunch of merchandise to on consignment. And like the mensch he was, he ultimately paid me for those gimmicks. The outpouring of love on his birthday and now upon this most tragic of news attests to a life well lived. and oh so colorfully at that. Scott, we had some great nights, we had a few bad ones, and this sure feels like you're just on another of your countless road trips, but know that I always loved and respected you, and we sure had a hell of a lot of fun along the way. Rest in peace, my friend. Scott Epstein. And folks, we're going to see a videotape of Scott right now. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much.
Hey, brother. Scott Epstein, how's it going? Good to see you. Come on in, guys. Come on. Come on. Come on.
We're here with Scott Epstein. You got to tell us what's going on. Is years and years and
years and years and years. 38 years actually. Since 1974, I've been doing this. This is what started me in this business. Muscle Training Illustrated magazine. I was the associate editor on this magazine with the Dan Laurie organization. I saw that there was
Laurie?
Yeah, Dan Laurie.
The
bodybuilder. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Being a wrestling fan, I thought it was absolutely a crossover in the promotions of bodybuilding and wrestling and the fans. And you and I discussed Lou Neglia before. That's how I knew Lou Neglia. He was involved a little bit in the bodybuilding too, with his martial arts type stuff back in the day.
So there was a crossover with bodybuilding and then that?
Right,
wow.
Bodybuilding, martial arts, and wrestling. So my idea was to create a wrestling magazine, make it glossy, color pull-out, double-page pull-out, and front calendars in there and stuff.
Stepped it up.
Yeah. And down south, I learned the hard way that even though Tony Atlas won the Mr. USA bodybuilding show that I ran and was prime run a guy for Vince McMahon Sr. actually at the time, if you put him on the cover of a magazine down south, they wouldn't even put it out. They would just rip off the covers, send it back to the distributor, and get the credit as if they didn't sell them. Really? Yeah. It was in spite of everything being segregated and desegregation laws kicking in and stuff. If you were an African American, you could not be on a cover. Ric Flair down south, fine. This was in Florida. They wouldn't put. Miami, Florida, you couldn't find a picture of.
Give me a time frame about when. What was?
I would say late 70s, early 80s.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's not so far.
Yeah. No, that's correct. That's correct. So in spite of all that, you could not put Tony Atlas on a cover of a magazine. We were told point blank. We actually had him big blow up, humongous, double bicep picture, and we were told by the distributor, I wouldn't advise that. And that was, and they were right. They were absolutely right. Putting Billy Graham gushing in blood, legitimately bleeding, that was fine. That's actually my shot from Nassau Coliseum, Superstar against Bruno. That's what it looked like back in the day, and there's my name, editorial.
Wow. Nice head of hair you had.
Yeah, huge head of hair. I was a wrestling fan more than a bodybuilding fan, but I picked up on the bodybuilding stuff, started doing promotions, the World Bodybuilding Guild, ran the Pro Mr. America, Mr. World, Mr. Olympus, not to be confused with the Mr. Olympia. It was that one year, 1975, I guess it was, yeah. Superstar Billy Graham entered my Pro Mr. America contest. I never heard of him, never knew who he was. He wasn't in the New York area yet. I was very impressed with his charisma. And I kind of focused the magazine around Superstar. That's how we got so tight many, many years ago. And to this day, we stay very close.
So now, how do you do the crossover from the magazine to actually being an agent for them?
Well, actually, while I was doing the magazine, I was an agent for many of the bodybuilders. That's when I met Schwarzenegger and had a little run-in with Ferrigno, too. Called me a very anti-Semitic slur.
Really?
Yeah.
Ferrigno?
Yeah. And to this day, he grunts and moans when I see him at these, not the bodybuilding, at the
Why, because you embraced Arnold
Comic-Cons.
instead of him?
No, actually, I got along with his father. He hated his father. His father went into business.
Well, that answers it right there.
Yeah, and I got along very well with his father. But I wound up, representing a lot of these guys, and my love for that was, I had a good reputation out there. A lot of guys, unfortunately, in the wrestling business, bodybuilding business, were alleged no-shows, that they would be booked to come to a club or autograph signing of some sort. Right. A lot of guys would double book themselves wherever they could get the better money. They would take that deal, and I never had that with my guys, which was great. So my reputation was solid. My guys always showed up. They showed up in a timely manner.
So as well as actually representing them, you also putting together different concepts and shows.
Right, and a lot of public relations on it too. I was doing a lot of press releases.
So you have a creative side to you too as well.
Absolutely. That's my favorite side, that I have my creativity.
So what do we have here?
The camp, it was actually wrestling in Jello.
Not you.
Yeah.
You wrestled in Jello.
In Jello, absolutely. I will show you the picture.
You got a
and
picture
this is
you
my
in Jello?
belt. Yeah, come
on, let's
along
go
with
with
me.
this.
Come on down to Jabroni Drive.
That's great.
And there I am, 1999 versus Spider-Man. And the Jello was red at the time, so it looked like blood. It looked like there was blood dripping all over me.
That's great.
That was my manager.
I never thought you wrestled. Well, that's awesome.
You could even see in my wedding picture of 2 years ago, under my tuxedo, unbeknownst to my wife, I was wearing my belt.
You dealt with old-time wrestlers, old-time talent, and up to current day, obviously.
Right.
There's this great story about The Rock. Maybe you could...
Well, Rocky Johnson and Tony Atlas currently are clients of mine, and they were back in the day when they were first African-American tag team champions. The guys would be in town, they would all train, especially when they were at the garden. Everybody would go to the world-famous Mid-City Health Club, real old-school bodybuilding club, and Rocky Johnson would want to go and train and be left to his own devices and do whatever else he would do. And my son was 5 when I would bring him with me, and Rocky Johnson would say, "Scott, take Dwayne and your boy and go to the magic show up the block." And he would hand me $20, and he didn't want Dwayne around because he wanted to do his own thing, whatever it was, training or whatever. I'm not judging anybody. So I became The Rock's babysitter. And there's some other history to it too. I don't know if this is privy to your knowledge and information, but there was a, let's call him a ring guy, the guy that helped set up the ring and allegedly did security. He was an African-American guy, young kid, probably in his 20s, named Mel Phillips. I don't know if the name rings a bell.
It doesn't ring a bell.
Turns out the stories, and I'll cross the line by saying that the stories came out that he was a pedophile. And it's a known fact that one day when they found out for sure that he was a pedophile, that he disappeared off the face of the earth. And the allegations are that WWF made him disappear. Whether that's true or not, I wouldn't know. But
you don't have to say that.
I said allegations.
Allegations. That's the key word.
Key word. But.
For nearly a decade, Evan Ginzburgs' Legends Radio has featured interviews with the greatest names in the arts and sports. Heard worldwide at legendsradio.net, the program has featured these great musical legends: Ray Manzarek of The Doors, Billy Corgan of Smashing Pumpkins, Judy Collins, Roberta Flack, and many more. Stars from movies, TV, and comedy have included Jenny McCarthy, Wayne Brady, 30 Rock's Judah Friedlander, Shelley Berman, Jackie the Joke Man Martling, David Allen Greer, and Paul Mooney. Stars of pro wrestling and MMA include Bruno Sammartino, Rowdy Roddy Piper, Superstar Billy Graham, and Frank Shamrock. Co-hosted by renowned journalist Dr. Mike Leno, Legends Radio is heard Wednesdays 7 p.m. to 9:20 p.m. Eastern Standard. We are archived 24/7 with hundreds of hours of classic interviews. Legends Radio also features the best in indie music, showcasing talent deserving wider exposure.
I'm from Brooklyn, baby. Don't forget the gravy. We are soldiers.
You missed the birth of your mother and father. Don't you dare miss Evan Ginzburgs, Legends Radio.
For professional motorcycle transport and towing, think Kickstart Fabrications Motorcycle Towing. Proudly serving all of Long Island, we feature expert handling and 24/7 service. So send a limo for your toy with Kickstart Fabrications Motorcycle Towing.
Technical Worldwide Tattoo Supply is one of the largest suppliers in the world and your #1 resource for top quality, affordable tattoo and piercing supplies. Technical Worldwide Tattoo Supply is the #1 supplier of tattoo inks in the world with more than 200 products including Mom's Ink, Philadelphia Eddie's Traditional Inks, Paolini Sacred Color Inks, and more. Technical Worldwide Tattoo Supply, your one-stop shopping destination for great service, best prices, and top quality supplies. Coney Island.
All right, and we are back, and we are joined by Ash Mills Epstein. And how have you been holding up?
Thanks, Evan. I'm holding up. It's good to see you.
Same here, same here.
Music was awesome.
Absolutely. Always,
yeah,
always.
Great, thank you for the tribute again.
My honor and a pleasure. And Scott was a dear, dear friend, and every time I go to an event, we were just in the convention in Rhode Island, and it's almost like you feel he's going to like turn around the corner and we're going to see him, and inevitably somebody goes, I can't believe Scott's gone. It really hasn't sunk in. And watching the video, you know, he's so alive. It's very...
Welcome to my world. Yeah, he's... it really lets you understand how almost legends are born, because he had so much energy, so much aura that it didn't go with him. That energy's still here, very much around everybody and everything. And people tell me what you just said all the time. They can't wrap their heads around it yet, and they feel him. He's still pretty much here.
Absolutely. And the beauty of YouTube and the various media that he's been involved in is you do live forever in a sense.
In a way you do. Steve was asking me before, how was that I see him on YouTube in different interviews, and I hear his voice in all different venues. And it's like a visit in a way. Yeah. It's rough, it's tough sometimes, but it's good too. I get to see him and I get to hear him, and it's that voice.
Right, and we did a special radio tribute to him, and the biggest names in the wrestling business, Bruno Sammartino and superstar Billy Graham.
Heroes.
Yeah, and they were all on. At the very end, we purposely put 3 interviews with Scott Epstein on there, so his voice will be out there forever.
I like that. Oh, I have to talk into this one? Yes. Okay. Yeah, so that was great. The radio tribute was wonderful, and you can? Okay.
You have a personal valet, like in wrestling.
I see. But he's not wearing a little outfit.
That's right.
Ash said if I don't do this, I can't sit next to her on the couch.
Well, Scott would be disappointed that you didn't have a cute little dress on, but...
Yeah, that's after the show.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's not Saturday night yet.
I didn't go on the road. I never want to know what went on after the show.
Yeah. Speaking of Saturday night, Carlton J. Smith, my buddy, he's been on the show. He's playing tonight at BB King's, getting a quick plug in. I love that guy. This guy moved from Harlem to Shanghai, China to make a living as an R&B singer. He has billboards all over Asia. I mean, talk about following your dream. And
you know, Scott's son, Ian Eriks, has probably a similar story to tell. Very talented musician, and he's known all over the world. And in America, he's an American, but it's another story. The music industry is different in America. And so you can go to Asia and South America and points in Europe and make a career and have a career and be known in music, and yet in America it's a little harder market to break into. So
there's a lot of ageism in America. You know, Ian is not a kid, Carlton is not a kid, and they're looking for kids, literally. I pushed an artist who was 16 at a record company, and they said, we're looking for 13. How absurd. Absolutely absurd.
Well, that's just scary.
No, well, they mold them like a Justin Bieber. They make a product, and it's not about the quality of the music. You know, it's about creating a product. And unfortunately, in America, they're too caught up in that, and labels, of course. If somebody doesn't fit a certain label, the music industry isn't interested. But anyway, this is about Scott, so
Scott would appreciate that, and you know why?
We're plugging his son. He knows
well,
publicity.
He would like that.
Publicity man.
But
yeah.
he would love that. But
Absolutely.
he called you Mr. Eclectic.
Oh,
you were the
thank
most eclectic man he knew. He
appreciate
loved that
that
you mixed it all up.
Yeah, we used to do all kinds of events down at Gizzy's in Manhattan, film screenings, and Scott loved it all. He wasn't just a wrestling guy. There are some wrestling people, that's all they know. It's almost obsessive. But with Scott, you could talk about anything. And I just want to say, when I was on the road with Scott, which was many, many times, including when we did The Wrestler, he roomed with me while we did The Wrestler. He always talked about you and the family. Always. Always. And he was never chasing women like the wrestlers do. Really. He always missed his family.
I knew my guy. I never had to worry about anything with Scott, and I knew who was around him all the time. And the young ladies who he really took care of on the road, his talent that was out there, he respected these women so much. And he got to know their boyfriends and their husbands and their parents. And they were entrusted to him, and he looked after them. Yeah. And I loved that about him, and he was very proud of that he took care of his talent on the road.
Exactly, exactly.
Yeah.
I was with Scott at a convention, and it was one of the deals where the promoter, and we won't mention names, the promoter goes, he goes, we have no money.
We always know who we're talking about.
Yeah. He goes, we have no money to pay you guys, Evan. I brought in the Valiant Brothers, and it was one of those scenarios. So,
that guy.
So Scott goes into his own pocket to pay all the talent.
Aye.
Okay, so unbelievable.
I've forgiven him.
Unbelievable. So he went into his own pocket. Usually it's the other way around, where somebody in wrestling is ripping off the talent.
He got a lot of notoriety that time for going into his own pocket, but quite frankly, I'll toot his horn for him. It's not the first time or the last time that he went into his own pocket.
Exactly.
But I think everybody could be rest assured that if you were working under his banner, no matter how the show did, you got paid.
So I have a tough question for you. We were in the green room talking about mortality, all of ours, and I actually said I want to be the 22-year-old rapper as opposed to the middle-aged talk show host. What have you learned, for better or worse, from this experience?
Yeah, that's well, a lot. I've learned a lot about the business of dying. Sadly, I mean, it is a huge business, and it's business to be taken care of by the living. So it's very important details to take care of. My brother-in-law passed away 6 months before Scott did, tragically in the very exact same way. Car accident in the middle of the night.
Wow.
And it forced a conversation. Scott and I, 6 months before Scott died, it forced a conversation between us where we talked about what we would do, what did we want when we died. And so I had some inkling when Scott died as to what arrangements he would have wanted for himself. I think it's a very important conversation people have to start having and not be freaked out about it. None of us escaping alive. And so if you have a partner
Except for Steve.
or children, talk to your wife. Talk to your wife. Because one of you, sooner or later, is going to be handling the details for the other. And that's what I've learned. I've learned it's a very important conversation to have with your loved one while they're here to have it.
I made a joke about it because I'm so uncomfortable talking about these things with my wife. And
Scott was too.
Yeah, it's a very hard thing to deal with. We're rapidly running out of time. Tell us very quickly about the charity that you've established.
TheMachoFoundation.org. Macho was Scott's handle, and it stands for My Actions Can Help Others. And the foundation, TheMachoFoundation.org, is set up by Scott's children in his honor to help children who can't afford it go to camp, get help for their families. And it is an organization that will blow you away. Go on to the webpage, themachofoundation.org. You will be amazed to see what Scott's children pulled together for him in his honor and the great work they're doing.
There you go. And I just want to finally, to wrap up the show, acknowledge Shu Aoki, who I was speaking to on a Saturday, and he passed on a Monday.
39
face
years
to face,
old.
39 years old. So the moral of the story is, you could drop dead at any minute. You could drive into a tree at any minute. Seize the day. Seize the day. Live life to its fullest. Live every day like it's your last.
Live every
it may
day
very
like you're Scott Epstein, 110% every minute of every day.
Exactly. Exactly. Couldn't end on a better note than that.
Thank
you
you
so much for coming. And,
Thank you.
And 800 people at Scott's Memorial, which is a testament to what a great person he was.
People loved him, and he loved them back.
There you go. Thank you. Thank you so much.